Thank you for joining us today. I am Caitlin Giles McCormick. I'm here with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Today's session is NJEDA's New Jersey Manufacturer Voucher Program information session. You'll be hearing from a few of our economic transformation team members today. And to get us started, I'd like to shift things over to Matthew Abraham, Director of Tax Credit Programs. Matt?
Yes, good morning, and thank you all for joining us today on our webinar. We're really excited to explain some of the features of the New Jersey Manufacturers Voucher Program. I will be assisting on the Q&A, trying to answer questions as they come up, and assisting my colleague Ivan Mendez with this presentation. I will pass it over to Ivan now.
Thank you, Matt, and good morning, everybody. My name is Ivan Mendez. I'm the Senior Product Officer here at the New Jersey EDA. We're very excited about this program. It is the first of its kind for the manufacturing industry. We also want to thank our Governor, Phil Murphy, for really focusing on manufacturing and allocating the necessary funds to help this industry. That being said, we'll get right into the program. The program is called New Jersey Manufacturer Voucher Program. Short is NJMVP. So what is NJMVP? NJMVP is a voucher program that will provide New Jersey manufacturers a grant to access the equipment they need to become more efficient, productive, and profitable. The applications will be received on a rolling basis, and they will remain open until all the funds are committed. Once the funds are committed, the application portal will close. Awards are sized at 30 to 50% of the cost of the eligible equipment, which is inclusive of installation, and it will be capped at $250,000 per company, meaning that any one manufacturing company can apply for more than one piece of equipment, but the aggregate award to any one company cannot surpass $250,000. You'll also find that this program targets the state's priority sectors and that we will be awarding higher percentages for small businesses. We've also included bonuses for the program that focus on certified women, minority, and veteran-owned businesses, opportunity zones, and those eligible companies purchasing their equipment from a New Jersey manufacturer. We'll take a closer look at the eligibility requirements. First and foremost, the companies must be a registered New Jersey manufacturing company in good standing with the state, meaning that we will be requiring tax clearance certificates by the time of approval, and there will also be Department of Labor and Department of Environmental Protection checks. New manufacturers to the state could also be eligible, as long as they've registered to do business in New Jersey and provided a tax clearance certificate by the time of approval. We will be requiring companies to provide a purchase quote, an equipment listing, or other justification of the cost of the equipment, inclusive of installation. And it's very important to know, you'll find that throughout this presentation, we will be touching base on this point here, where projects where a contract has been signed, a purchase order placed, a deposit made in advance, or previously purchased equipment prior to an NJMVP application would not be eligible for this program. Any sort of monetary commitment to the equipment will negate companies from participating in NJMVP. For-profit and not-for-profit companies, they are eligible, but important to note that home-based businesses will not be able to move forward with an application. New equipment and/or used equipment is allowable in the program, and applicants must be a manufacturer in a targeted industry, or the equipment that it's being purchased must meet advanced manufacturer definitions. So let's stay here for a second. On our website, NJEDA, or www.njeda.com/NJMVP, which you will find in the chat or in the Q&A of this presentation, you will find a list of targeted industries and their definitions. But let me give you an example. So if we have a toy plush company here in New Jersey, a manufacturer in New Jersey, that's not a targeted industry. However, if the piece of equipment that they're purchasing meets the definition of advanced manufacturing, they will be able to move forward with an application. In further slides, we'll take a closer look at what's a targeted industry and what is advanced manufacturing. All contracts, including manufacturer supply agreements that are $2,000 or more and requires installation of the equipment, is subject to prevailing wage law. And the equipment that is purchased must be used in the manufacturing process. And below here, we have some examples of that. However, let me give you an additional example. If we have a manufacturer who is purchasing and installing robotics in their process, that's eligible for the program. However, if we have a manufacturer who is purchasing solar panels for their building, solar panels is not considered to be eligible as they are not used in the manufacturing process. But again, we will have further examples of this in further slides. Also, total aggregated project cost, which is equipment plus installation, must be at least $25,000. Here we can take a look at the award structure. You will notice that there's two different tiers. So if a manufacturing company is 100 FTE or less, FTE meaning full-time equivalent employees, they can receive a max award of 50%. Those manufacturing companies with greater than 100 FTE, their max award will be at 40%. So all companies, all manufacturing companies will start out with a minimum of 30% and will have the potential ability to either max out at 50 or 40%. So here's how we can maximize and get to that 40 or 50% number. So there are 3 different bonuses that are 5%, which are inclusive of opportunity zone eligible census tract. So what that means is that the piece of equipment must be located in an opportunity zone eligible census tract. If the company itself is located in one of these zones, but where they're placing the equipment is not located in an opportunity zone eligible census tract, then they will not qualify for that bonus. Also, a 5% bonus for New Jersey certified women, minority, and veteran-owned businesses. So the certification will be required at the time of application. Also, if a company has at least one collective bargaining agreement in place, they can receive that 5% bonus. The 4th bonus is 10%. And this one is dedicated for companies who purchase their solicited equipment from a New Jersey manufacturer, meaning that the equipment must be assembled and or manufactured in New Jersey. There will be instances where companies can qualify for a number of these bonuses, but it's important to note that they cannot pass 40% or 50% of the award based on their tier. So here we have some examples of targeted industries: life sciences, clean energy, technology, non-retail food and beverage, offshore wind, advanced manufacturing, and advanced transportation and logistics. Again, on our website, www.njeda.com/NJMVP, you can find these targeted industries and their definitions. So here we want to highlight advanced manufacturing. Again, we want to drive this point home. If any one company is not in a targeted industry, but the solicited piece of equipment is considered to be advanced manufacturing, they can move forward with an application. Here we'll take a look at the application process. So the application process will consist of a 2-step process. The first being a pre-qualification, and the second a full application. The pre-qualification will be available online, and this will be launched sometime in December. We anticipate it being December 15th, and it will remain open on a rolling basis for 1 week. You can go to our website for confirmation of that date, and it will be posted shortly. In this stage, we will require companies to upload a checklist of items, which we will go over those items in a following slide. We'll also be qualifying all these pre-qualifications for completeness and eligibility. Very important, the equipment should not be ordered at this point. The pre-qualification is not considered an application, and any company who orders their equipment at this point will lose eligibility for the program. Moving forward, the actual application. It is anticipated that the actual application will be launched in early 2023, and that announcement will be made via our website as well. All eligible applicants will be sent a link giving them access to the application. And at this point, a $1,000 application fee will be required at submission. We also want to let eligible applicants know that they will have until June 30th of 2023 to order or purchase their equipment. So they do not have to have the equipment delivered or installed at this point, but they must order or purchase the equipment by June 30th of 2023. Again, solicited manufacturing equipment cannot be purchased prior to application. So at the application stage, manufacturers will be allowed to order their equipment at their own risk. But it is encouraged to wait for an actual NJEDA approval to ensure that you receive the award to offset the cost of that equipment. So here's a checklist. So these are items that will be required at the pre-qualification stage. The first, any New Jersey state certifications that reflect women-owned, minority-owned, or veteran-owned businesses. And the certification will be required to be uploaded as evidence. Also, if any one company is under 100 FTE, meaning full-time equivalents, we will be requiring them to upload the WR30 to prove that they indeed have under 100 FTEs. And this will be in regards to their 5% bonus, or to give them the 50% eligibility. If there's a collective bargaining agreement in place, then that will be required to be uploaded as well. The equipment quote or third-party justification of the cost of the equipment and installation will be required to be uploaded at this stage. Again, projects where a contract has been signed, purchase order placed, or any deposit made in advance of an application would not be considered for funding. Also, the company will be allowed 12 months for the delivery and installation of the equipment, with 2 6-month extensions before the funds are dispersed. And this will happen after approval. At the conclusion of the approval, one single award disbursement will be issued to the company when proof of equipment delivery and installation in a New Jersey facility is provided. Lastly, there is going to be a $1,000 application fee, and that will be required at the time of application submission. And there is a 3-year recapture period, meaning that if the equipment is moved from New Jersey out of state, it could potentially be recaptured at 100, 60%, or 30% of the face value within the first 3 years. At this point, I want to thank you for your time, your attention, and we will be opening up to the Q&A.
So Ivan, we did receive a lot of questions on the Q&A. And some of the questions, one was around when will the pre-qualification application be available for applicants to submit their application?
Okay, this is one of the most popular questions. There is no concrete date as of yet. It will be announced shortly, and that announcement would be made on our website, www.njeda.com/NJMVP. However, we do anticipate that being the 15th, but we can't concrete that date right now.
The next question was, if you are in a UEZ zone, is that considered as a qualified opportunity zone?
We have a mapping tool that will be in the pre-qualification stage that will, once you enter in your address, it will let you know if you're in an opportunity zone.
Right. And Frank, so not all UEZs are in a qualified opportunity zone. Not qualified opportunity zones are unique and separate and apart from UEZ zones. However, sometimes they do have the same assignment to it as far as being in a UEZ zone as well as an opportunity zone. Another question, Ivan, was if multiple equipment that equals 25,000 or more eligible, or does each purchase have to be a minimum of $25,000? So the question was if there was multiple equipments, does it have to be multiple equipments that are 25, or if they have multiple purchases, but the total is 25,000, would that be okay?
Great question. The total aggregate minimum is $25,000. So in essence, you can have 3 pieces of equipment that total that project cost, and project cost being equipment and installation.
Next question comes from Ben. Do these stackable bonus make the award go over the max of 250,000, or does it help a company get there if otherwise they were unable to get to the $250,000 award? For example, $1 million project cost in an opportunity zone eligible track is the max 250,000.
Okay, so I'll expand my answer a bit. There's a couple caps with the program. The first cap being how much any one company can receive. So if a company is 100 FTE or less, their max award is 50% of the project cost. If a manufacturing company is greater than 100 FTE, their max award is 40% of the project cost. Again, project cost is equipment plus installation. The next cap is the award. So you'll notice here that the max award would be $250,000 to any one company.
Yep. Next question we received was regarding eligibility. If the design is paid for, but not the purchase, would that qualify? They would be 2 separate contracts.
Design, if you can elaborate that question a bit.
They didn't say. However, if you paid for the design of a piece of equipment and you have another contract to manufacture for the build out, would that qualify is what I think Mike is asking.
Oh, okay, if I understand the question correctly, so the equipment is the highlight of the program. So for example, you can't just receive an award just for installation alone. So everything needs to be attached and begin with a piece of equipment. And if I didn't answer that question, please elaborate a little more in the Q&A.
Next question was, if we submit 4 equipments in total for this project, but later decide to only purchase 2 to 3, is that okay? The answer is it's okay. However, whatever we approve you at is your max award. We would prefer if you could be as accurate as possible, because we do have a limitation of $20 million that's allocated to this program. However, we understand that at later you might decide on being only able to purchase 2 or 3 of those pieces of equipment. That's fine. However, we would never pay more than what you were awarded.
And keep in mind that there's also a requirement that approved manufacturers must order their equipment by June 30th of 2023. Next question.
Yep. We are a tech company that does manufacturing already. Is there some specific process to register and certify as a New Jersey manufacturing company?
No. So the pre-qualification is gonna allow companies to provide a narrative as well as additional justification of the type of company that they are, for example, manufacturing. And at that point is where the determination will be made.
Right. In Casey, just to expand on that as well, if you're a New Jersey manufacturer, that's fine. If you're a New Jersey if you are a manufacturer and you're buying from a New Jersey manufacturer for the bonus, you just would have to provide us the proof of that that you're purchasing from that New Jersey manufacturer and that they are actually either assembling or manufacturing here in the state of New Jersey. There is no registration of that. Can multiple subsidiaries within a company each receive the $250,000, or is the $250,000 award max combined?
It'll be max combined.
Is there a link for getting a tax certificate?
Yes, on our website, www.njeda.com/NJMVP, you will be able to access a link for that tax clearance certificate.
Right. And the tax clearance certificate actually comes from taxation. So if you go to the taxation's website, you could fill out the tax certificate, ensure that you put NJEDA as the company that you're, or the agency that you are looking for the incentive from. Can you buy out an equipment lease with these funds? So if the equipment is already in place, then you would not be able to use this for that piece of equipment. However, if you're looking to purchase new equipment on a lease, we will still be able to, you would be eligible for the program and for the full price of the purchase price of the equipment. The next question, will the purchase of the equipment after application be considered in the approval?
So companies will be allowed to purchase their equipment after the application is submitted at their own risk. Once a company receives approval, then it pretty much ensures that they will receive their allocated percentage.
Next question is, will you still have the expression of interest form?
No.
Now, we've replaced the expression of interest form since we are going towards the pre-registration for the pre-qualification for the manufacturer's voucher program. However, if you do have questions or if you need to contact us, you could do so at njmvp@njeda.com. That is our email, and we monitor that email all the time and we respond. Next question is, if denied, is the $1,000 application fee refundable?
Unfortunately, the $1,000 application fee is not refundable, and that's written into state legislation.
So just to expand on that, the reason we do the pre-certification is to ensure that you are eligible for the program, so that you, for the pre-registration, pre-qualifications, excuse me, pre-qualifications, there is no application fee. However, once we've deemed an application to be complete and eligible, then we open up the full application where you would have to pay the $1,000. We're trying to avoid having companies to pay $1,000 and not be eligible. Once an application is submitted, how quickly will they be reviewed?
Right now, there's no turnaround time that we can give applicants. However, it is going to be reviewed pretty aggressively in order to process these times as fast as possible. There is no timetable.
Next question is regarding the FTE of under 100 employees. Does that apply to the location in New Jersey or the entire company?
Matt, I'll take.
Yep. So
this one.
the FTE is based on company-wide, regardless of the individual company that's located here in New Jersey. We look at the full number of jobs that are at company-wide location. So if a company is owned by a larger entity or this is a subsidiary, we still look at the larger company for headcount. Next question is, what is the tax treatment, federal NJ Corp, of receiving using this grant? Is the income and taxable? Is the cost of equipment reduced for depreciation purposes?
Great question, and we will recommend that you talk to your accountant in order for them to give you guidance on what is the most beneficial way to approach that.
Right, that's correct. Next question, Ivan, is, I think I heard that the eligible business will be emailed by NJEDA to apply. If a business doesn't receive such an email, are they deemed ineligible?
I think I know what you mean. So there will be no email sent to companies for the pre-qualification stage. The pre-qualification can be accessed through our website. After the pre-qualification is submitted, eligible manufacturers will receive a link giving them access to the full application. Also, there will be emails sent to those companies who are not eligible or they need to, or those who have submitted incomplete pre-qualifications as well. But there will be no email as an invitation to apply for the pre-qualification.
Next question. Some of the lead times for advanced manufacturing projects are going beyond a year. What is the reasoning for a 12-month due date for installation?
Great question. So it's actually a total of 2 years. So we try to be as conscious and as sensitive to supply chain issues globally. So the initial time is 12 months. However, companies will have 2 6-month extensions in order to get delivery and installation of their equipment. So companies will have 24 months in total.
Next question is, what proof will EDA ask for on installation in New Jersey?
So we have a labor compliance department here at the EDA that will be in touch with each individual eligible applicant to walk them through that process.
Also, you could submit your documentation of delivery and installation once our compliance team reviews it. And if they need additional information or if they require a site visit, they'll do so as well.
Correct.
Next question. We are a distillery operating under a craft distillery license located in Atlantic City. Can a distillery apply?
So it seems that may fall under the non-retail food targeted industry. But the pre-qualification will give you access to a narrative to provide further description and information on your company. But keep in mind that if you're not in a targeted industry, but the solicited piece of equipment that you're buying is considered to be advanced manufacturing, then you can move forward with an application.
Next question is, will cannabis manufacturers qualify?
For this program, Matt, I'll give this one to you.
I would say it would be the same exact answer you just gave, which is if it's within the manufacturing process and it's advanced and it qualifies under advanced manufacturing, yes, you could qualify.
The NJEDA does, I apologize for jumping in. The NJEDA does have a cannabis confirmation that only specific programs can give an inspection for, and currently we do not have one for the MVP program.
Sure. So I can provide further information. Jacob, we're having a hard time hearing you. Hemp processing is a targeted industry, and we encourage you to read the definition of hemp processing to see if your individual cannabis business or manufacturing business qualifies for that. If it does not meet that definition, we do have some future programs surrounding cannabis being released later in 2023.
Next question, do you offer one-on-one assistance with the application?
No, there will be no one-on-one assistance. I encourage those manufacturing companies who will need some assistance with the pre-qualification and application thereon after to plan ahead and receive some assistance via consultant or other staff.
Yeah, but we made this application process as easy as possible and simple as possible. So it's not too I don't think it's too difficult to go through it. It's basic information that we're going to be asking, and then some of the uploading of proof of the bonuses, as well as if you have any proof of the equipment and installation cost. That's the other stuff that we're asking. So it's all the basic information of a company, tax clearance information. So it shouldn't be too difficult to get through the pre-qualification application. How does it work within an affiliate group for targeted industries? Can one segment apply and lease machinery to another?
Matt?
So as long as it's a manufacturer and it's within the manufacturing equipment that's being installed, and if it's a parent purchasing it for their sub, and the sub is also a manufacturer with either in the targeted industry or advanced manufacturing, then yes, that would be okay, and they would be able to be eligible.
And if you want further information on that question, we encourage you to email us at njmvp@njeda.com, and we can have further discussions surrounding that.
Are printing and sign companies eligible?
Same as before. If a company is not in a target industry, as long as the piece of equipment that they are purchasing fits the definition of advanced manufacturing, they can move forward in the application. I encourage everyone to go to our website, click on the provided links for targeted industries and the definition and the correlating definitions for advanced manufacturing.
This next question is very similar. Do you have to be in a state certified category to qualify?
Same answer as before.
Does the recapture end after 3 years, or does the percentage continue to get smaller as the years go on?
It expires after the 3rd year.
Next question, I think we've already answered, but I'm going to repeat it. Is there an application fee for the pre-qualification?
No. The only application fee will be $1,000 at the submission of the actual application. And only those companies who receive the link to the application will be at that stage.
Next question, what counts as advanced manufacturing equipment?
Same, go to our website, and we do have the definition of advanced manufacturing. If your certain example is not reflected there, please email us at njmvp at njeda.com, and we can discuss further.
Yes, and and we do have examples there under advanced manufacturing so that you'll know exactly what a piece of equipment would be eligible. Next question is, what documents will have to be uploaded for pre-qualification when the pre-application is launched?
Sure. So we went over that checklist in one of the previous slides, which Matt is bringing up here. So all of these are, if applicable, any New Jersey state certification for women, minority, or veteran-owned businesses. If a company is under 100 FTE, we will require the WR30 of the most recently reported quarter. If a manufacturing company has a collective bargaining agreement in place, that will be required to be uploaded as well. And this fourth one is the equipment cost justification. That will be required to be provided as well. And this checklist will also be available on our website. I will also add that this recording will also be made available on our website as well for point of reference.
Next question, are companies registered in other states but having manufacturing facilities in New Jersey eligible for this program?
The company must be registered to do business in New Jersey and provide a New Jersey tax clearance certificate.
And the equipment must
I'm
be
sorry.
and the equipment must be installed and used here in New
In New Jersey
as well.
location, correct.
All right. Can you clarify how long the pre-qualification application will be open?
The pre-qualification stage will be open for 1 week. Again, we anticipate that date being the 15th of December, but we will concrete that shortly on our website.
What is the definition of a home-based business?
A home-based business is if you're operating out of your home. You want to elaborate more on that, Matt?
Yeah, I think that's right. Either you're operating out of your home, your garage, that would the basement, that would all constitute as a home-based business.
Correct. So there's a couple of things that we want to drive home. Again, it's in the name, manufacturer voucher program. So the first thing, you must be a manufacturer. You must be manufacturing something. That's the first thing you have to keep in mind. The second thing, are you in a targeted industry? If you're not, does the solicited piece of equipment meet the definition of advanced manufacturing? So when you're going through this to see if you should apply or not, ask yourself these questions, and it should give you a better idea of where you stand. But we encourage everybody to go to our website. Our team did an amazing job compiling and putting the information there, and it's very user-friendly.
Next question is, if you're certified with SBA, are you not qualified? I have a feeling this is with regards to the women-owned business. That's a bonus.
You want to take this one out?
Sure. So you would have to be registered with the state of New Jersey to be a women-owned business. It doesn't cost anything. You could just go on to the newjersey.gov website and register as a women-owned business or certified minority-owned as well. SBA would not qualify as for New Jersey for this program. How do organizations with multiple businesses in different areas specialty apply? Can they be treated as separate entities with max benefits of $250,000 grants individually?
No, the aggregate to any one company will be $250,000 award.
Could the equipment be used for both retail and non-retail food and remain eligible, or would it have to be exclusive for non-retail food items to be eligible?
The equipment must be used in the manufacturing process. So if you have a retail space and the equipment is going to be located in your retail space, that will not be eligible.
Will meal prep fall under this voucher program?
It depends on what level. If you're a non-retail food industry and you're making compressed juices and distributing it, that will be okay. But if you're making food on a retail level, equipment for that will not be eligible.
Next question is, I'm trying to open a factory in New Jersey, currently certified as MWBE in New York City, where we're headquarters. We do have a corporation in New Jersey, but not operating yet in New Jersey. Would we have the time to certify as MWBE in New Jersey prior to applying?
I don't know what the turn times are for certain certifications. I would check on the website, NJ.gov, for those times.
If a company gets pre-qualified, how likely is it that the actual application will be funded?
Every pre-qualification and every that we receive is going to be unique. So there's no way of answering that question or making any guarantees. Once we receive the pre-qualification, each single one will be evaluated. Those that are deemed to be eligible will move forward to the application process. A link will be provided to them, and they must meet certain certain guidelines in order to be approved. But there are no likeliness or guarantees that can be provided.
Next question is, for a business with less than 1,000 FTEs, the max award is 50% of the aggregated cost of 250,000.
1,000 or 100?
250,000. I'm sorry.
No,
Yes, 250,000.
No, but the how many FTEs is the question?
100 FTE on
Okay.
less than 100 FTE.
Okay, 100 or less, they can receive up to 50% of the project costs, which project cost again is equipment plus installation. And then those companies greater than 100 FTEs, their max award would be 40%. And regardless of the max award percentage that you can receive, there is a $250,000 award cap.
Next question is, we have a seasonal business. How is the 100 FTE limit determined?
So there's a calculation for FTE, and you would input that to see what the total would be.
Yes, we usually look at the WR30 for the determination as well to ensure the FTE count.
So it'll be a WR30 of the last reported quarter.
That's right. I have a business that I conduct out of my home, but it's a transportation company, and I use a piece of equipment during transportation operations that occur outside the home. Am I considered a home-based business?
Okay, a couple of great question and a couple of things to talk about here. Home-based businesses are not eligible, and that would be considered a home-based business. Also, that in that example, they're not a manufacturer, so that would also negate them from the program.
Next question, Ivan, is many manufacturers in the precision machinery industry has antiquated equipment. Will they be able to use this program to replace existing equipment with new CNC machine tools without bidding on new work?
Yes. So the two-step qualification process that we've been talking about. Are you in a target industry? Yes, you can move forward. If you're not, but the equipment that you're purchasing is advanced manufacturing, which in this example it looks like it is, then it would certainly be eligible, yes.
Next question, if we submit multiple pieces of equipment on one application, would the application be approved or denied in total, or could some pieces be approved and some denied?
Some can be approved and some denied.
Right, so if we deem a piece of equipment not being a part of the manufacturing process, so in the example I think Ivan had mentioned before, if we receive an application and there's a piece of equipment that is manufacturing and then another piece that's solar panels, the solar panels part would be declined. However, the manufacturing equipment itself would be deemed eligible and could receive an incentive. Next question, if I have a restaurant that manufactures for 4 locations and a wholesale accounts, but also does retail sales, is it possible to apply for purchase equipment is it possible to apply if the purchase equipment is related to mass production, even though the company is not registered as a manufacturer?
As the question was written, you said that you are a restaurant, so you are considered to be retail. You're providing services to the consumer directly from a retail space, so that alone would negate you from the program. Again, it must be a manufacturer and non-retail.
There is a question about state audit based upon grants through this program. I'm not sure what that question entails. If you could email us and expand on what you're asking with regards to your state audit, we'd be happy to try to address it.
And also, we do encourage companies to speak with their accountants with any specific tax-related questions and audits, separate-related questions.
Next question, Ivan, is could you repeat the timing from application to disbursement of funds?
Sure. Once a company is approved, they will have a couple of different dates that need to be spoken about. The first one is they must order their equipment by June 30th of 2023. Also, the other dates that are important is that the company will have 12 months to provide proof of delivery and installation of that equipment, but they will also have an additional 2 6-month extensions in the event that they don't get the equipment on time. So in essence, companies will have 24 months after approval to provide that evidence.
Are there any fees on extending it from 12 months to 24 months?
There will be no fees. The only fees associated with the program will be the $1,000 application fee that will be required at submission.
Next question is, if you have multiple advanced manufacturing locations within the state of New Jersey, is the cap per company or per company per location? Is the legal ownership entity parent company defining entity? Or would each individual affiliates of a larger parent company be eligible to apply?
Great question. It'll be per company.
Right. So we do look at the per state ID. So the parent company, every affiliate within that parent company, we look at the parent company. So the max amount would be 250 award. Do New Jersey manufacturers who do not have a formal employees but have owners and subcontractors working qualify?
I'm sorry, Matt, I didn't hear that one clearly.
Sure, I'm sorry. Ivan, the question is, do New Jersey manufacturers who do not have formal employees but have the owners and subcontractors working qualify?
I'll give this one to you.
Yeah, sure. So Luis, the answer would be yes, as long as you're a New Jersey manufacturer and even if you use outside employees, that's fine. If it's not under your own FTE, that's fine as well. Contract employees are fine, as long as you're a manufacturer and you're buying equipment within the manufacturing process. Next question, Ivan. Can you clarify if that disqualification includes if a business operations run from a residential address, but the machine and installation is in a separate commercial manufacturing facility?
That one's a little, I'm not sure if I understand the question. So in essence, where is it registered from? I'm having a hard time differentiating between it being ran from a home, but having a separate location where things are being manufactured. I would ask that person to email us at njmvp@njeda.com to discuss a little further offline.
Next question is, I'm an owner operator. Can I buy a box truck? Are these funds a loan, and does it have to be paid back?
A box truck is not considered to be part of a manufacturing process. So it would not be eligible. And the second part of that question, this is a grant, and these funds would not be asked to be paid back. The only time where we would ask for funds to be repaid back to the state would be if the machine, if the piece of equipment is moved out of the state within the first 3 years.
Next question, Ivan. What if there's a real estate component to the project? Could you start with the construction prior to application and purchasing the equipment?
Okay, we can't give you advice on that part. We can just tell you that do not purchase your equipment prior to application. And at that once you submit an application, you can purchase the equipment at your own risk. And we encourage you to wait until after approval to purchase the equipment in order to ensure that you will receive an award to mitigate the cost of that purchase.
And if I understand the question, I believe that what they're asking is if they are building out their real estate, they can start their construction of the real estate itself. However, the purchasing of the equipment should not be purchased prior to approval of the NJMVP. If you have several projects, is each project submission at $1,000? So in this, if you don't mind, Ivan, I'll take it.
Sure.
I think what you're asking is if you want to purchase multiple pieces of equipment for your manufacturing process, do you have to submit individual applications? And if you do, is it $1,000 each? If you could aggregate all your purchases on one application, we would just caution you that timing of that, you won't get your refund or your incentive dollars back until the last piece of equipment is finally installed, and you would hope to have that installed within that 2-year time frame. So, but you could put it into one application and just have a $1,000 application fee. If you want to put in multiple applications individually for each piece of equipment, that's fine as well. For each piece of equipment that you do put an application in for, you would have to pay a $1,000 application fee. I hope that's clear. And if it's not, please email us at njmvp@njeda.com. Next question. The application process starts early 2023. Considering we would be negotiating with equipment suppliers, they would need to provide pro forma invoices. What dates could we provide the equipment supplier to expect to receive an answer on a project? Example, can we tell an equipment supplier to expect an answer by February 2023?
Sure. We can't give you any advice on the timing. The only information we can give you is the timing of the pre-qualification and application. Pre-qualifications, again, will start being received mid-December. At that point, every single pre-qualification received will be reviewed for eligibility and completeness. There is no certain set amount of time where companies will be given an answer. However, we do anticipate the full application to be launched in early 2023. So there is no way that we can guarantee any turnaround times for that.
Next question. We do have 2 more minutes left. Fixed and portable equipment. Are fixed and portable equipment eligible as long as they stay at the New Jersey site?
Yes, as long as the piece of equipment is used in the manufacturing process, there is no restrictions on that piece of equipment being mobile. It just must be used in the manufacturing process and stay at that location.
Next question is, what do you mean by one collective bargaining?
I'll let you take this one.
So if your company does have a collective bargaining agreement in place, if you have multiple collective bargaining agreements in place that's active and current, we only need proof of one for that bonus. Next question is, does it have to be an equipment directly used in the manufacturing process? Or if we're a manufacturer, it could be something like a forklift. Okay,
great question. So there's a couple of things. We have 1 minute left, and this will be our last question answered. And it's a perfect way to end our presentation. All solicited equipment must be used in the manufacturing process. So a forklift will not be eligible. Please keep in mind that purchased equipment cannot be purchased prior to application. Once an application is submitted, which launches in early 2023, a company can purchase their equipment at their own risk. We encourage companies to wait for approval in order to receive the award and mitigate the cost of that purchase. Please check our website for announcements and information, www.njeda.com/NJMVP. Also our email, njmvp@njeda.com. Please email us any additional questions. We'll be more than happy to provide those answers. Please monitor our website. All announcements will be there. The link to the pre-application will be there once it is announced. That is your one-stop shop for all information NJMVP. We thank you for your time, and we look forward to reviewing your pre-applications and applications.